Yo, yo, yo. What up, Raider Nation? Welcome on in to another exciting episode of They Follow Burner slash the Raider Ragu Show. My bad. This is a straight Raider Ragu Show, but they do still follow. Welcome in. First and foremost, let me not forget my sponsor, shebangboutique.com. That's SHEE bangboutique.com. Go over there and get your girl something fly. Also, please like, share, comment, subscribe on the YouTube channel. Please download the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Okay, so couple of things we're going to go over, all right? A couple segments. But before we get to that, we want to talk a little bit about Christian Wilkins because some info came down about him where Pete Carroll was asked about his recovery timeline and whatnot. There had been some conflicting reports on whether he was in a boot or not, right? Some people were saying he was in a boot. Some people were saying he's out of the boot. So there was a little bit of controversy there. So I'm glad Coach addressed the situation. It was basically becoming an elephant in the room.
Coach, where's Christian Wilkins in his recovery process?
Yeah, this has been a difficult recovery, and he's done everything he needs to do. He's been here every day. He's here early, working hard, but we're still working it, and he's not ready to get back out. And we're in the midst of a long, challenging process here. So, fortunately, there's a lot of time, and we're going to take every bit of it. We've really tried to be really diligent about the way we've worked it and the way we've monitored it and all of that. And he's been on board the whole time. So, but it has been challenging.
And what Coach Pete Carroll said was that it's challenging. All right. His words, not mine. It's been a challenging recovery, rehab. It's a tough injury to come back from. And they're working through it, basically, is what he said. So he didn't give away nothing. He didn't say, okay, no, he had setbacks. He's not going to be ready to play or whatever. But he also said it's early, and we can plan on using every bit of time that we have to bring him along, right? So he's talking all the way up until the opening kickoff, I would say, of the first game, right? For a guy like Christian Wilkins, that's what all that time, the time is all the way up until then. So that is a bit of a concern, but Coach Petey addressed it. And I feel like my feeling on it is we might not see Christian Wilkins till into the season this year. He got hurt in week 5 against the Broncos. So look for him to be back around week 5. You know how when you are injured reserve coming out of training camp, that means you got to miss the first 4 games. I'm kind of expecting him to be on that list. I really am. So it's a good thing they went out and got depth in the draft. They also got some free agent depth. They got the 2 rookies that can perhaps go in there and make some noise and hold things down until Christian comes back. But that's not good. Okay? That's not good news about Christian, and no way to fake and shake about it. It's not good. But we will monitor that. And just because I'm saying, I feel like he's going to be on injury reserve to start the season, don't mean that it's so. That doesn't mean that it's so. But I just feel like we got that we have that coming for whatever reason. Okay, so Yeah, that's it. That's it for the whole thing with Christian Wilkins' foot or whatever. You know, we gonna play it by ear from here on out. Now, the other thing what we want to talk about here today is continuing to talk about the O-line. All right. Because we don't want to drink the Kool-Aid of thinking the team is going to be good. And the O-line is suspect. So I was watching some film today. And, man, I got to say, later in the season, they were playing some decent football. So I see what Coach Petey was saying. He was being real when he said he think the offensive line played well. Because towards the end, right, the game I was watching was the second Denver game, right? They wasn't giving up like a bunch of sacks or nothing, man. It was a bunch of pressures. It was just we didn't really have any guys at that point. We had a bunch of people hurt. We were just kind of playing out the string. It was, we didn't have a running game. So from what I saw, JPJ, it was Meredith out there. It was Colton Miller. So the left side is situated low key. Then you got Parham and Glaze. If you've listened to my channel, been on my channel, listened to any of my shows, I'm not a huge Dylan Parham fan. I feel like he gets overpowered a lot on the short yardage situations and goal line. So we have Meredith, Kappa, Parham, and the new kid, Caleb Rogers. Throw him in there. I don't know. Are we throwing Mumford in there in the mix as a guard? Or are they gonna keep him as the swing tackle? I think perhaps he's gonna be better suited to be that swing tackle. And he's gonna compete. They're gonna make him compete on competition Tuesdays in training camp. There will be tremendous competition for the interior O-line spots. Absolutely. And he'll let the youngsters compete with with Colton Miller and DJ Glaze. So it's going to be tremendous competition in practice for those interior O-line spots. But I am concerned. So here's something else to think about. I hear they're going with like more of a zone type scheme, right? Same thing they started off doing last year and then went away from because it wasn't working. Didn't have the personnel offensively, skill-wise, and didn't have the personnel offensively, O-line-wise. So it's still the same O-line. It's still the same. Nah, I can't even sit there and say it's still the same running backs, but some of them are still there. So Zamir White's still here. Lauby is still here. These are the guys that couldn't get it done last year in this zone blocking scheme. We do got Jeanty now. We do got Mostert. We do have a different coach in the zone block scheme. But the O-line coach is a first-year O-line coach, right? First time being in charge of the O-line himself. Brendan Carroll, that's Pete's son. I wouldn't be lying. I would be lying to you guys if I didn't say I was concerned about this. It's the old line, for crying out loud. That's why I'm telling you. We get to the preseason games, and it's not looking cool. Like, you'd be like, oh, man, it's preseason, man, you tripping. We just not showing them nothing. Nah, man, if you keep it 1,000, well, I'm saying we don't ever move the ball in the game on the ground. You understand? In none of our series, it looks like that against the 49ers and the Seahawks, we could all be drinking the Kool-Aid. It's not going to be a good year for Jeanty, right? It's going to be one of them type years where he perhaps could get hurt. But if pass blocking, they're tremendous. They're going to be great at that. If all of this is based on if this zone blocking scheme doesn't work out with the same O-line personnel, basically. Kappa is new, basically, and rookies, that's it. And then you still got Zamir White, you still got Dylan Lobby, and you got Raheem Mostert and Ashton Jeanty. All right, so, okay, say Jeanty is different, and he knows how to do his thing within the zone blocking scheme. Great. That's how I hope it works out. Say that Chip teaches it a different way or whatever, and Brendan Carroll and all of them, these variables come together and everything works right. But look at the variables. We going against teams that are already established with their run game, right? And we coming in with a new O-core, new O-line coach, running a scheme that the O-line that's here last year, which is most of the same guys, weren't good at. All this is true, man. I'm not here to be on panic button or gloom and doom or woe is me or anything like that. But this year, I'm gonna keep it 1,000 wild. I'm gonna keep it 1,000 wild with myself. So I'm gonna keep it 1,000 wild with you all. This could be a concern, man. Could be suspect. Not a good year. You know, plus or minus 6 wins. This O-line is not gonna do its thing, man. So I know I was talking O-line a little bit before, but I just want to go back in on it because of the importance of it, man. Everybody knows that. Anybody that played foot, you know the O-line is important. So that's something to keep an eye on, man. All right, I want to get to my main man, Jeanty. Saw some clips of him training in the rain, barefoot, with only, just some shorts on. And getting it in, too. The dude is a beast. And his trainer, personal trainer, who's been with him since high school, he gave him your name escapes me right now, but said that the guy's an even better man. So I really feel good about the player that we have in Jeanty, man. So it really makes me hope the O-line is good enough to where this young man can make an impact, man, in his first couple seasons. And I know they'll eventually get the O-line built up if it's not up to speed, but I'm saying, like, now, I want this guy to be able to hit the ground running, literally hit the ground running for the Raiders. Rookie of the year candidate, all that type of stuff, man, because he's a good kid and he's talented. You know what I'm saying? But just being a good kid, he went 6th overall for a reason, bro. He came 30-some yards away from taking Barry Sanders numbers down for a reason, bro. He's not stock. Okay? He's not stock. So, training in the rain, no shirt, no shoes and socks, getting it in, you are a beast. And I believe in you, brother. I can't wait to see you get out. The other guy that they've been talking about a little bit in camp is Jack Bash. We already did video on Jack Bash, did video on Ashton, but Jack is messing around and be a sleeper pick man, because he got a good chance to start if he does everything right. And then he's got a chance to put up numbers, man, because, you know, Brock in the middle, Jacoby, don't drop anything, Myers is on the other side. And then you got Ashton, man, slamming that thing in there, balls. So, you know, this guy can get some single coverage and make some tough catches, man. They can't double up everybody. They can't give everybody extra attention. So, you know, you're going to have this guy this year, perhaps have a big season. He's tough. He's fast. Catch the football. He's what you want in a receiver. I'm interested to see them get out there. But everything works with that O-line. Everything is contingent upon that O-line. All right, so continuing. Topic number 3. There was some talk about the Raiders having to travel the most of any team this year and not having them having the least amount of rest, which is it's some analytical stuff, but there could perhaps be something to this, right? It's everybody is, you know, professional athletes, so you know, very extremely highly efficient body types, right? Needing rest, the proper amounts, right? And if you're not getting the same rest as people you're playing the same sport against at a high level, it could be a bit of a disadvantage. But as I said in my other video where I went over the schedule and predicted the Raiders could get 10, perhaps 11 wins, but that's all contingent on the O-line. I will do a video immediately if I see something in the preseason game about the O-line, about my prediction and what I think I need to do with that. When I predicted 10, and perhaps the last game of the season, Chiefs might not need to put their players out there. They might be ducking somebody, and they want us to get in instead of Joe Burrow or somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like how they did Denver, and then Denver get on in there. But here's the thing. We have some favorable matchups in there, right? We're going to go AFC South and NFC East, right? The money division. I feel like in the AFC East, we can beat the Giants. We can beat the Cowboys. You understand? Not really sweating them. Philly and Washington is going to be different. Philly and Washington is going to be a little bit different story. But you never know. You know what I'm saying? Well, I catch one of them slip, man. We beat. So, favorite, right? We can beat those South teams. Even the Texans, we can beat them. But even if we don't, we still beat 3 of them. Say we get 2 of them, that's 5 wins right over there in the AFC. I mean, NFC East. And then looking at that's 5 wins. Looking at a split with our guys in the West, we had 8 right there. You understand me? So I'm saying don't worry about the traveling. That ain't, I wish they would have never even brought that up. So I hope the Raiders don't even know about this. Because then you kind of start to build in a little excuse. Like, oh yeah, we you know, they had us traveling. You know what I mean? They had us traveling. We would have did something, but we had to travel. You know what I'm saying? I want to hear that, man. So I wish they kind of wouldn't even brought this up. But you got to lock horns anyway, right? You got to play the schedule that's placed in front of you. Don't worry about the rest. Rest after the season. right? Rest after the Super Bowl, hopefully, right? So yeah, I'm saying my position on that is you're not gonna worry about the travel. But I wish they wouldn't even say it nothing. So we smack dab in the middle of OTAs right now. Guys are doing some t-shirt and shorts type work, and I also heard Pete Carroll say that they are actually getting on some offense defense now. So going offense versus defense instead of how you run with you got to defend your group within your group, like the defensive players over there playing offense and defense. The offensive players are doing the same thing within their group, trying to you know get a good mimic a good practice. But Petey said recently, today, in fact, that well, actually, it was yesterday. That would be Tuesday. That they got into the real offensive defense versus D and ramped it up a bit, and it got a little bit faster. And some dudes were a step slow and got behind in some technique or whatever. So that's what they're there to do, man. Run perfect plays, get the technique together. So when you get to camp, you can hit the ground running. There's not a bunch of time, spent teaching or reteaching and getting you in a position and things of that nature. That's what this is for right now. So OTAs, nobody is win or lose any positions. This is all about getting your techniques and your disciplines down and learning the plays. So, and that's what Uncle Petey said they're at. So, that's they're in the phase 3 of OTAs, and all's looking good, man. Just we'll keep an eye on our offensive line, and we'll talk about other stuff as the weeks progress, as we get closer and closer to training camp in July. It is May 22nd, I believe, today. So that's about all I got for you guys, man. Like I always say, I ain't gonna hold you. Just win, baby. And pick.